And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Refresh Point. My name is Ben, and oh my God, man! Right. I'm joined by my constant co-host, Steve. Steve, how's it going?
I feel pretty good, actually.
That's great. You know,
I'm getting this feeling that it's possible that you don't.
No. I feel fine.
Yeah.
I feel perfectly fine. I just have a burning desire to play Weiss Schwarz until I stop breathing.
Well, we all love Weiss Schwarz. You might love Weiss Schwarz too much.
I just got back from, effectively just got back from BSF Duluth, where me and a team of two lovely individuals, Stell and Ling, formed a team effectively 2 days before from a Facebook post, and we got 11th. We went 3-3, and it was fairly close, and they had a great time, and I really just want to try to win the next thing that I go to. But anyways, we'll talk about that and also some releases and some of the other tournaments right after you shuffle your decks, tap or cut, and we'll get right into the refresh point with some breaking news. BSF Duluth, Manchester, Singapore, I think even the Netherlands. I don't know that we ever talked about that. All wrapping up. It's been a very fun trio season for, like, lots of fun kind of decks to crack into top 8s everywhere. I can literally point to, like, 5 or 6 of the Duluth teams and tell you exactly who they are IRL. But in Singapore, which is, like, the most... Sorry, Singapore... or I don't think we talked about the Netherlands, which is kind of like... Or the Philippines, probably? We haven't talked about a good amount. Did we even talk about Sydney? I don't feel like I remember us discussing that. Or Toronto. So, there's actually just a good amount of teams tournaments that have passed us by. In between the time where Steve won and now. And, there's a good amount of fun stuff. Fun and funky, fresh stuff.
We definitely did talk about Toronto.
Okay. Right, because it was on the day that we recorded, but we definitely then did not talk about Sydney.
I will say one of the and I don't I didn't do a comprehensive comparison, but it certainly seems like the 2025 Summerfest, it doesn't have the same kind of like showing as the 2024 Springfest. So
yeah, just like attendance wise.
Yeah, like attendance wise, it doesn't feel like there's as many players. I don't know if that's true. I would have to go back and do like a more comprehensive dive on the teams, like quantity of teams, but it does certainly feel like we're just getting a lot of really, like, kind of on the smaller end of business events, especially here in the U.S.
No, I would say to some degree, yes, but also, like, I think some of the tournaments are kind of like the standard size in general in the U.S. Like, they're kind of expected to be smaller. Like, Duluth was always going to be a smaller event. Dallas was kind of small. Like Rosemont, for example, was like 58 teams this year, and like last year at New York, for example, was 56. So I feel like that's kind of there's some parity there.
Yeah, what was Rosemont last year?
Rosemont last year, let me see, was 72. So sure, there's some level off.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a small drop off in teams play. I don't know if that's because of the timing of the event, where you've got. It's happening later in the year, and so less of the events are occurring during like peak summer where people have more like flexibility and ability to travel and things like that.
I mean, the Rosemont this year was peak summer, right? It was like
Yeah.
June 22nd.
So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always fun to talk about Springfest because we get a whole bunch of decks you will not see in any other place at any other time.
Shoutouts to Z McFloyd and some others in Duluth cracking into the top 8 with the full Exodia deck. Oh yeah, that's right, the Spy Exodia, the Mygo Exodia, and the Quint Exodia.
Yeah.
Banger. You love to see that.
I've seen the Quint one before. I don't think I've seen the Spy one before. I have no clue what the Bang Dream one is. I read as few Bang Dream cards as possible, honestly. It seemed obvious which cards were good, and I didn't do a deep dive in Mygo.
Yeah, sure. In terms of other fun lists all around, because there's a lot of tournaments that we just did not really see, cover, whatnot. There was a winner of, I believe, it was not Singapore. It was Manchester on the winning team, was a Choice Bar Overlord list.
Yeah.
With the Demiurge combo, a similar profile to the Guilty Gear Kai combo. Check 4, add any, or salvage a level 2 or higher. No bug, which Steve takes issue with.
Yeah, I don't mind this build. I think in general the choice combo is fine. I don't understand how it's better than the door combo. Except for the fact that you can cause some deck movement if you want. But a lot of times I feel like you don't want. You just want to kind of slow roll it. So in that sense, the salvage that comes from the door combo feels at least as good. I don't know. Maybe there's a better way to play Overlord in the sense that you can just clear out all of your deck 1 and then try in deck 2 to hit level 2 and then like do all your cool event stuff there. I don't know. But very cool deck in the sense that it also ran they have a double bouncing event.
Oh yeah, the hamster.
Yeah.
Classic. Love the hamster.
So that was in there. Very I'd never seen that card before, so very cool.
Yeah.
Also, does Manchester, are y'all are really Riaz pilled, I think.
What do you mean?
Like, how are there 2 Ari Ferretta decks in the top 4? Hang the fuck on.
In the same slot, no less. One of them might have beaten the other one to get to the final.
Yeah.
That would have been funny. Or funnier outcome. They just never saw each other. They're just like parallel, like gaming it, like all the way through the top cut.
Yeah, I don't know. But what I do know is, yeah, that deck is real something in the meta right now. Also, shout out my man. We got a Atla deck in the top 8, and it's bar choice.
Yeah, it's because you're too much of a coward to play it.
That's real and true. I'm aware it just because my favorite deck does not make it the best deck. So
I see.
That's just how it is, unfortunately.
Indeed.
We're seeing a nice trend here from SBY. I think this is a deck that is not going to go away, no matter how much we want it to.
No.
So we see 2 SBYs, one in the winning slot and then one in top second spot from Duluth and Manchester. So people are experimenting with how to adapt the deck. Some people are adding more red, some people are adding more yellow. Like, there a lot of experimenting on the top end with what like level 3s to put in instead. So there's a level 3 that digs a climax, which is really, by paying 1, which is really handy. It plays into their game plan of hard conserving their blocks. The downside is it's yellow, so that makes it real hard to cast. You have to. It's just another sculpt you have to do, which can be very tedious. But both decks were running it. One deck was up to 8 yellow cards, so like we're just adding more and more and more yellow cards. But one deck was running this Notica that is a early play, and its early play effects are one of 2 effects, one very reasonable and one psycho. One is heal. That's the reasonable one. The psycho one is your opponent mills the top 10 cards of their deck, and then this card gets 3,000 power. Guys, unless you know for a rock solid fact what the top 10 cards, or at least some of the cards from the top of your opponent's deck are, please never choose this. Please never choose this if there's any more than 10 cards in the deck.
Yeah.
This cannot be correct. Like, maybe if your opponent has, like, an 8-card deck and you know the 3 climaxes in there, sure, send it, mill 10, get that shit out of the way, that's fine. But your finisher relies on climaxes being in your opponent's deck to produce packets of damage. When is this good?
You know, you just push them to the next refresh point.
Right, so they have, like, 1 climax in the deck, and then you just get them refreshed out.
Yeah.
And now they're all back in there.
Yeah.
So they can cancel and you lose.
No. Cool. And then you get to, because you mill so many cards, you'll get to 2 refresh points, and you'll mill out their climaxes and kill them with it.
Yeah, I don't think this is even going to mill as many cards combined with this and Mai as triple Mai. Like, it's going to be around the same amount of cards. Maybe a couple more. But, like, I don't like this card at all.
I mean, what? A single Mai is 6 cards?
Yeah, so it's like 4 more cards.
Yeah, see, so you know.
No.
That's as many. That's even 4 more cards than triple Mai would have been.
Nope.
You know?
Right in the trash. I cannot abide this card. I would not play it. But you know what? I didn't get second at Duluth, so.
True.
I'll reserve that as a good finish, regardless.
Yeah, neither did I.
Yes.
All right.
But yeah, I think we have a nice mix of fun decks and tough decks to face, and they're kind of giving us some information about what the singles meta is going to look like in the very near future. We are coming up rapidly onto the BCS Singles
1 month
Championships.
Away,
yes, the Singles Championship season is very close now.
Yeah, dude.
The seasons are going to be right up against each other.
I don't know that I like that as much.
I definitely don't.
I miss the break.
Yeah.
Man.
Also,
there used to be like some amount of time in between seasons, I feel like maybe like a 2-month period,
yeah.
1 month period.
Yeah.
It's just
not any fucking
one
more.
Thing after, like, and it makes the travel cost actually fairly annoying, to be honest, because it's like, let's say that you're like,
imagine you lived in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, like imagine you just imagine you live in like the northeast area in general, or even like slightly the Midwest. You're like Philly is 3 weeks before BCS Chicago.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like, ooh,
I feel bad because Philly's probably gonna struggle from a like participation perspective because of its closeness to the BCS season.
And you know what? I think it does actually, some of that does show up in some of the traveling that's been done for the teams events.
Yeah.
This year as well in general. You'll generally see at any given tournament there's a few travelers, you know, a couple of Dallas people, some of the Cali teams, you know, some other, you know, fairly good players from here and there, like that you'll just kind of notice at most tournaments in general.
Yeah.
But I think at this year, for all of the teams tournaments, I don't think Dallas didn't go anywhere. I was effectively like the most consistent traveler to teams tournaments this whole season. Right?
There was definitely a plan to go to other events. Unfortunately, life kind of got in the way and kiboshed those plans.
Yeah, for you, but
me,
even for like other Dallas players, it wasn't really in the cards. Like a lot of people had just come off of traveling to Japan.
Yeah, exactly. That was the other part of it.
Yeah, for Worlds and Tourism.
It's like you know, whatever, May Japan, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden you're right into it, where it's like
It was
June
May
tournaments.
May tournaments.
Yeah.
It was like right after Worlds, there was a tournament in Cali
Yeah,
for teams.
yeah,
And so it's like,
that's tough.
you know, like I think it goes to show, like like last year, let's say I think there were 2 or 3 Dallas teams at Duluth teams last year, for example, and a Cali team. I think 2 Cali teams even.
I think in
and
general
whatnot.
we traveled a lot more in previous seasons because it felt like there was like a bigger window to do it. It was like Worlds is in February, and then you've got a couple months, and then you have spring, and then you have some more months, and then you have fall. And I think they're trying to space out the events so that they can like concentrate the participation. But the problem is that when the season lasts like 5 months, you know, the Summerfest has been going on since June, and it's going to run through almost October. So when it's that long, you're going to create some like weariness amongst the player base, but also, I mean, how many events you going to go to, man? So I think the singles season will be much larger because of the nature of Worlds, obviously, and because spacing out the singles events makes a lot more sense because you're going to have more tryhards. And so there are people who want to win Worlds, people who want to go to Worlds. And so spacing them out lets your competitive traveling player base attend more events. So I think the attendance for the upcoming season will be quite high. But also, we're kind of in a really challenging meta to deal with. So we'll see. We'll see how the attendance looks. But the cramming everything together does have a cost. There is an opportunity cost for cramming all the events on top of each other.
Yeah. I think it was funny that I was chatting with the Duluth winning team after the tournament. Shout outs to Panda, Kenny, and Jon. Always good to hang. Especially after I effectively crashed out and I like looked behind me and like, oh hey, it's some friends like winning the tournament over there.
Yeah.
It's always like actually the funny thing is that's now been like a not inconsistent experience in my life. I've had a few tournaments where I'm like lose out of the tournament, I look behind me, I'm like, huh, hey.
Yeah.
There's some guys.
Yeah, congrats to the Duluth winners. Obviously, fans of the Refresh Point, people we've played against, people we know.
People we play with, against, whatnot, chat about, all sorts of stuff.
We love those guys. And
shout outs to, I believe, the slime player on the 3rd place team listens to the podcast. We had a very awkward introduction, but, you know, I'm happy you did well, man. You know, keep on soldiering on with slime. God bless. You know?
I gotta. I mean,
we gotta keep repping it until we get it restricted. You know, 07.
the people who have been listening to the podcast for the longest are, I'm sure, well aware at this point that listening to the Refresh Point is the fastest way to raise your standings in tournament play. It's just a categorical fact.
I see. Yeah.
Refresh Point listeners just do better.
See, this is why I can't ever win. It's because I have to record the refresh.
Yeah, we're actually giving away our power to you.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah,
so,
this is why I didn't repeat at Worlds.
Yeah, that's
it.
Reason
it's
why.
the only reason. There is no other reason.
That's truly the reason why. Man, now I got off my point. I don't even know what the point was anymore.
The point was. The people from California are good at Weiss Schwarz.
Oh no, they were mentioning to me. They're like, okay, we're looking around the room. Okay, hold on. We don't see any Dallas teams, and that's just Ben by himself. So, yeah. And you know what? We fought the round 1.
I saw that.
Help!
That was crazy.
Our tournament path was so cursed for a team that was me and 2 people it was their first BSF ever.
I'll say this. Sometimes your round 1 can say a lot about your tournament experience.
I don't know
whenever
if
I look across from a very strong opponent in round one, I'm like, well, either today is my day or it isn't. And we're about to find out really quick which one of those it is.
Yeah, I mean, the funny part is I was slotted against Panda, and we had a fairly close game, and we play relatively quickly. Because Weiss can be one of those games is like, if you're both like really like knowledgeable or just like really knowledgeable, like really good in general, and like you know the lines that you're kind of taking, you like don't even need to speak. Almost like you can have a nearly silent game of Weiss Schwarz where all you have to do is look at your opponent and like see what they're doing, and just like, and then you just like, you have your responses. Like, we played a salty after I lost while we were waiting on his teammates to unfortunately finish clobbering my teammates, because it turns out Escanor gets around Yuji, and Bay Dream is really good, and so my bad. And then I won the salty. I don't know that really helped me at all. I think I might have made it worse. So I'm like, yeah. But it was funny that they're like, oh, we don't see any Dallas teams here. Maybe it's kind of free.
Well, I feel respected by
man.
that comment, which is nice to feel. My run, or my team's run at Dallas did go through that team, and so I was the only loser to lose to them. So my other two teammates carried it through.
Nice one.
And so
I mean, it was even a different team than the Dallas team that Panda played with. So this team was Panda, Jon, and Kenny. I think in Dallas, Panda played with somebody else, as far as I recall.
It was Long, right? Playing the...
Long also goes by Panda, but he was playing with like two different people.
Yeah.
As I recalled. But again, I already said earlier, I know it was Floyd Zengen playing the Oblivionist Mygo Exodia, and I'm pretty sure it was Zemek playing the Spy Exodia. I just don't remember who was on the Itsuki Exodia, because leading up to what we're going to talk about in the Spike Quarter, my sleep schedule is actually cooked, and I feel like I've just been short-circuiting all day. But also in this top 8, I can just point out there's Kokorin's team. He went 7-0 on Adventure Time, just continually proving that he lords over Georgia, like Duluth, BCS, BSF, whatever in general, like whatever he feels like playing, like he'll rock the whole board with Adventure Time. If his two teammates didn't lose, then I don't know, man, he might have just killed that whole tournament.
That's the type of dedication I can get behind right there, where just absolutely not interested in playing anything else except the deck you like.
The funny thing is, I think
and continuing to succeed with it.
Yeah, like I think at singles last year he played like Spy. It's like, damn, I should have just played Adventure Time. I was like, yeah, maybe, man, because he like crapped out at like the singles tournament last year, with not Adventure Time, and then back again on Adventure Time in the year of our Lord 2025, just 7-0 through Swiss and first round of top 8, just held back. Just barely.
That is absolutely crazy work. I don't know how he manages it, but he does.
Yeah. So
a better one trick there is probably not in all of Weiss Schwarz.
Just about. Yeah. Once again, I'm not gonna harp too much on our record, or the record of my team. We went 3-3. It was fine. It was my two teammates' first BSF, and like we did fairly well.
What were they playing? What decks?
They were playing Shauna and Itsuki.
There you go.
And they
reasonable decks.
Yep, two reasonable decks. The Itsuki player went 4-2, so better than I did. I went 3-3 because I fought the 4th place's Tokyo Revengers player, and it turns out when your deck loses to both stock compression and a board of 16Ks, and you have no real answers to any of the things going on, you tend to lose. Lose the whole game.
If your opponent has a whole bunch of win conditions that are there for filling and that are also loss conditions for you,
It's not a great sign.
It's not ideal.
Not
it's
a
not
great
ideal.
sign.
Yeah.
No, not a great sign. And I knew I wasn't him because in the last round I was fighting a guy playing Nikkei, and you know, I was really like salty after that match, and he was trying to like be coming. He's like, you know, that's Weiss, man, and I'm sorry, guy. I am like the last person to be saying like that's Weiss, man, too. Like yes, I know that's Weiss, man. Like, of course I know, but why did you live at 2-6 for 3 turns after full spending down your stock to get Alice to contest the board and getting anti-early countered? Like, help me. How can you block this much? But yeah, I'm sorry to you. I was definitely pretty tilted after that, because I'm pretty sure that was our winning into top 8. My Shauna player, I knew that's how I really knew our team was not him. The Shauna player lost to Guilty Gear Standby Bar with Yuji on the board. They just lost to Vanilla Swings. And like,
yeah.
what can I say at that point? Like,
the last time I played Shauna at a tournament, I lost to Vanilla Swings in a game, and I was just like, I don't know, man. Like, they had the eat ski finisher.
Yeah. They just like checked climaxes.
It was like check 2, it's clean, vanilla hit. Check 2, it's clean, vanilla hit. Check 2, it's clean, vanilla hit. Lose.
Banger.
And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess there were just 12 cards in a row. I don't know, but
shout outs to my teammates. They had a great time. They were like, yeah, I had a really fun time. And I'm just sitting there in the corner, just like the most driven that I've been in quite a long time to play Weiss Schwarz. I like immediately broke out my slime deck and I was like, who wants to free fight? I'll fight you. And like, I lost some games from like pure tilt. Like, I was just like playing so fast and like tilted that I would like make heavy misplays and lose. I'd be like, that's valid. I'm like messing it all up for fun.
yeah.
And then, but yeah, shout outs to the one guy in free fight where we shuffled up. I did my mulligan. He does his. He's like, oh no, it's slime. I'm going to lose. I'm just like, yep.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I did win. But yeah.
If you can't even see yourself winning, how can you win?
How can you win?
Like, you can't even imagine yourself winning? Then I don't know. But, well.
But yeah.
Here's what I'll say is that, yes, coming back from a tournament, not getting the result you wanted is difficult.
That's not even it. It's the annoying thing. You talked about it as well. I'm sure you can mention it again on air this time. It's that I went in at the start of the day with relatively little expectations. I said, like, I have a mindset of I'm always trying to win, but I'm playing Review, and the two people sitting next to me, I have met in person for the first time this morning.
Yeah.
Right before check-in.
Yeah.
So, like, we're just gonna play. It was when we were X1 at round 5
Yeah.
that I'm just like, yeah,
Things
man.
started to change, yeah. I mean, and that's the reality of it, is that we're all the people at the refresh point, Ben and I, many people here in DFW, we are spikes. We're spikes. And we are not ashamed to say it, and we are trying to win at all times. It has nothing to do with the level of stakes or what the event is or any of that stuff. We're always trying to do our best. And aligning your expectations with your preparation and effort is an important part of getting your mentality correct for tournament play. And if you don't align those things with your expectations, then you are primed to have a bad taste in your mouth or a very good taste in your mouth sometimes, randomly, for lucky purposes, during an event. So Ben went into the event with the right mindset, but then it changed because he started winning.
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
That happens. It happens. And so it's okay. It's okay to be upset that you didn't do well. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Those are just normal competitive feelings.
Yeah.
But the important thing is the best thing you can have in any competitive setting is a short memory. That's
so
the
true.
best thing you can have.
What I'm actually just thinking about is Rosemont and how it's in 1 month, and how I'm trying to figure out desperately what I think the best option is going to be for me.
Yeah, the reality is that outside of the obvious good stuff, the meta is kind of wide open. So
outside of the obvious good stuff.
Yeah. So the decks that we know are really, really good, right? So Bang Dream and Nikke, probably universally considered to be the 2 best decks in the meta. And then you have like those 2, maybe S tier, and then like A tier, a whole bunch of stuff.
It's just about nearly everything that's remotely reasonable with like an unfair mechanic.
I think
honestly,
the 2 most important things in the meta right now, this is my opinion. Your finisher needs to be very, very, very cost effective. Because if you start to compress too hard, then Bang Dream will blow you out. Like if you have like whatever 8-10 stock, then you can get whirlwind slammed. So whatever your finisher is, it needs to be pretty cost effective, and you need to have payouts like spread throughout the level profile so you can keep your resources normal.
Right.
Second thing, you need to have some way to keep Nikke from playing that event and making you lose the entire game. You have to do it. Like, you cannot just accept that event. You cannot. That is not a choice. Like, clock 1 in lieu of your entire damage profile is not a choice you can make. You need to have at least something. And maybe you don't draw it, right? But also maybe they don't get Modernia, right? Possible. You need to have it in the deck as a choice that you can make during the game to give yourself a chance to win. Need to be able to do that. Fighting on the board is really important now. Killing your opponent's cards, really important. Your opponent's going to be big on offense, and if they're medium on defense, you need to be able to consistently remove their cards and make them make decisions about the game. So those things are really important in the meta right now. If you can do those things, then it doesn't matter what your deck does, is reasonable. Like, it's winnable. But if you can't do those things, then you better have another really good trick, whatever it is.
Pretty much. And yeah, I'm really trying to think about what I want to land on, because like every like archetype of slime has its trade-offs right now, effectively. And it's just kind of annoying trying to pick out which one I want to deal with the most. One of the surprise trade-offs, honestly, that's come up like recently is that I feel like whenever I'm playtesting Standby Slime, we built this in a time that we just said to ourselves, all right, screw the 0 game, whatever, let's just go. And man, do I miss Millum Chaser more than ever. Like, if I playtest any other slime archetype, any other one, Corone at home slime, Millum at home slime, 8 pants slime with like a first friend event, whatever. Okay, any of those variants, and I have Millum Chaser on lock, ready to go. God bless, does it feel great.
Bro, I am telling you, there is a reason I did not run Shuna.
That's valid.
I ran 4 Millum Chaser.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I do not care. Millum Chaser is broken.
Yeah.
Millum Chaser makes your opponent's life a living hell. The only downside to Millum Chaser now is Bang Dream will come in and lock that thing down.
Yeah, and then they'll crash into it.
But then that's the thing. They can't get over it.
Yeah.
So they'll just crash with it. Whatever. Trade accepted. You crashed your dude, and now I have a lane to hit in. Okay. and 2 lanes to hit in if they want to use the mechanic.
True.
Like, they open themselves up to big damage if they make that play.
Which is something you kind of need as the standby player.
Yeah, 2 open lanes? Whew, what could be better?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love the Milim Chaser. I cannot be convinced that it's not the best zero they have.
Me too.
Like,
so I might, even if I'm playing standby, I might just have to be adjusting how I played in general anyways.
Yeah, I think examining the zero game for the meta that exists now is an important part of revisiting old decks. If you're going to revisit old decks, you need to be at least aware that the game has changed since you played it last, especially if it's been a year. Like, the entire scope of what was good and what is now good is completely different. Like, if you have a 4K on board right now, I'm not sure it can die. I just not convinced it can die. There's almost nothing that gets over it. It's just too fucking big.
Yeah.
And so
that's also why I like the what is it? Any slime variant with 3 rules.
Yeah, 3 rules.
Because you can have the 3 rules down and the Milim Chaser down, and now your Milim Chaser's 4K in 2 lanes.
Yeah, like,
pretty funny.
I like 3 rules. It's tricky to fit in. That's the only problem with it.
It's not in a standby list.
No, it can't. There's not enough. Yeah, but it's also competing with a bunch of other really good zeros.
For sure. Yeah.
So, like, that's its classic problem. But I love the standby variant. I can't be convinced. Like, all the other...
There's no way to sculpt the Muron, though, Smile.
Yeah. And then the reality is it doesn't matter. Because I don't...
okay.
I'm not even sure I want triple Muron most games anyway.
Really?
No, because, like, now I'm compressing so hard. Like, I'm leaning into Bang Dream. Like, I'm leaning right into it.
Right.
Where it's just like, okay, well, I'm at 10 stock. Cool. I hit level 2. Sick. You lose. Lose the whole game right now.
Right.
And you're just like, oh, right. I can't do that anymore. That's not a play I can make.
That's
so I would play more early play healers.
Yeah.
And I would configure the deck in such a way to where that's my board. Muron, healer.
For sure.
And then I just want to stand on these Nikkei clowns. Just stand on them. I mean, too big.
It is pretty funny in the Nikkei.
Yeah, I'm too big. I hit level 2. I sculpt 2 counters. I'm too big now. You can't do anything. And they need that damage, to be clear. They need it. Their deck is very ordinary in the late game. Does not do anything. It's a vanillas and sometimes burn 4 maybe once. And then, like,
sometimes
Icy Tail, YOLO send it at 3.
Yeah.
But a very ordinary deck at 3.
For
sure. If you can get a big lead and just bully them, they can't win. They need the counter. And if you deny the counter, then they can't win. Like, can't win consistently. They can obviously still win. Sometimes you just lose. But their game plan relies on board control at level 2 and higher. And if you can deny that from them, the game will become very rocky for them very quickly. Which is what makes standby slime so good in the meta. And slime in general. Like, I think that all the flavors of play whatever level 1 makes you feel happy. I think the Milim Door is probably the worst of them now, just because the boogeyman that it was meant to kill died. So,
I mean, it kind of farms Swiss a little bit.
It does. It's awfully annoying, but it's not like what it was against SDS, where it was just like grab them by the throat and then just strangle them. But it can still be very frustrating for some decks. It's not good into standby, so it's pretty weak versus Nikkei. But also because they bounce back their back row all the time. So, like, there's nobody there to kill. So, not good against Nikkei. Kind of okay against Bang Dream. You can, like, annoy them by removing their Brainstormer over and over again. They don't have great sculpting, so, like, maybe that's a decent, like, way to look at it. I kind of don't mind the Red Reamer. Like, it's fine. Like,
yeah,
the Surge a card is fine. As long as the game's... If you don't play deck milling as part of your combo, you kind of just have to accept that, like, there's going to be deck 1 game states that look very bad. And you're going to need to catch up in some other way. But they don't really have a milling combo worth anything. So, it kind of is what it is.
I love the heckin' set 1 Milim that's like, what is it? You need 5 or less stock. Or the pants one from set 2 where you can't play the event that makes it powerful, so you're just swinging with a 4K.
Fruits of Wisdom.
Fruits of Wisdom combo.
And then of course the Diablo combo where it's on fucking
it's
wind.
on wind. On reverse, on wind. Hey, I mean, but it gets you a stock and a hand.
On reverse is not a big deal in the current meta, in my opinion. Not a big deal.
Wind.
On wind is intolerable. I hate it.
Yeah, intolerable.
I
always say that the standby climax for slime in general, it's like it's the worst thing ever. After you have after level 2, it feels like the worst thing ever, where you're just like, oh boy, I have a Benimaru.
It's cool in the sense that like you can fling out a level 3 and save yourself some money, but
sometimes. Yeah.
And I think the even better use case for it is flinging out Millim and then bullying your opponent with it.
Yeah, just forcing them.
I sculpt counters and now I have this 11-5. Hope you don't need to run into it.
Yeah.
It's just funny. But what's cool about the standby deck, and the thing that makes the standby deck stand out in its own way amongst the slime variants, is no other slime variant can just slam that stock swap with just no brain cell movement at all. They can just slam it. As soon as it looks even a little good, slam it. Is it late game and your opponent has like 6 stock? Slam it. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Not going to affect my end game. Not even a little bit. Like, they build too much money. And so their level 2 stock slam is a big deal. And they're probably going to be behind. Which means that you will have a very hard time reacting to it, because you won't have great payouts at the point of damage where you are. Like, if you're level 2 and not playing DK, like, how much stock you really gonna pay out, bro?
Pretty much.
So, yeah. I think Slime will be a very nice choice for the meta. True. And being full board hexproof has never been bad in the entire time Weiss Schwarz has been out. Never. So
I will honestly, that is something that I will say about playing the review list to this tournament, is that God bless I miss hexproof, because even in the previous deck that I brought to a tournament, Guilty Gear has hexproof.
Yeah,
I'm out here ignoring counters all day. We're like, yeah, bro.
Opponent starts interacting. No!
Yeah, I'm just like, I have to respect you sometimes. God bless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
The worst feeling of all time, having to care about your opponent's cards.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you want to know what's going to save you on the mental stack a little bit? Not having to think about counterplay ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that there's probably like 5 or 6 really good choices for the meta right now. So, and that's of the stuff that's already out. There's going to be a whole bunch more stuff. The season lasts until March. So, it's going to change significantly over that time period.
Yeah, like, I don't know that Makaine will make a big splash, but it'll be another entry into the reasonableness. So will Dan to some degree. So is GGO extra boosters. So is, I don't know.
We have Eminence, which we don't know
Eminence, we don't even know what it will do.
And we also have Fairy Tale 100-Year Quest.
And that's reasonable, isn't it?
I agree. I think it's reasonable. But
all right, there you go.
We're getting a bunch of sets that are going to be kind of hard to gauge the power level of, because they came out during the most diabolical meta in the history of Japan, Weiss Schwarz. So a lot of these sets died on arrival because, I don't know, Shiny Mass, right?
Gakumas.
And Uma Musume, and Yuru Camp, and like they were getting just absolutely clobbered by these reportable decks. So are they reasonable in the meta? Probably. But I mean, they didn't even have a chance. It was just, yeah. So I like that though. I like that because Weiss Schwarz players generally don't explore sets or cards or anything. They just go to whatever, website, Weiss Tea Time, whatever, some website where they figure out what the deck lists are, copy the deck list, that's the end, brain off, card exploration over. And I think that leaves you in a position where lots of decks can be good. They just nobody knows they exist yet.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, technically, I feel like we've been here for the last 15 minutes, but like, let's title ourselves as in the Spike Corner.
We're always in the Spike Corner. That's the little known secret about our podcast.
The well-known secret. So we've been in the Spike Corner, and the fun editing trick is you've been hearing Louis Zong's The Big Conference, which is the general Spike Corner soundtrack, for the last 15 minutes, because I made a mental note that about the time we started really getting into it, I was like, this ain't really breaking news anymore. So, if you really listened in, you knew. But I wanted to talk about something that's been affecting me personally, probably for the last 6 years at minimum, and it's sleep. Damn, I love getting a good night's rest, and damn, does everything I do really contradict that notion? Like, everything, nearly every, like, poor health condition, like, it's like, actually, if you're playing Uma Musume, it's like, every time that you're, like, low on energy, and there's, like, a percentage chance of failure that'll give you, like, night owl, like, debuff condition on your Uma Musume, that's, like, me in real life. Is like every time I'm like pushing past like my energy limit, I'll like wake up the next day and be like, oh, what the yeah. And like, I can't stress enough, there are so many things in this world that give you the reasons why you should have a good, consistent sleep schedule. Cannot stress enough. There are infinite reasons to have a good and consistent sleep schedule.
Yeah, and we don't normally talk about too many soft topics here on the Refresh Point. We try to mostly keep it focused around Weiss Schwarz. But in my opinion, this is Weiss Schwarz adjacent, because a big part of doing well in competitive play is showing up in a condition that is conducive to good Weiss Schwarz play.
There you go.
So yeah, I appreciate that. It was right there. I had it, and it was just it's
so carry on.
So it's hard to beat sleeping well. It's hard to beat it. Nothing feels quite like it. Caffeine helps, but if you come in run down, and sometimes that happens, then you're going to feel it. If you've ever been practicing when you're run down, you'll feel it. If you've ever been doing anything when you're studying, whatever, anytime you're using your brain and you feel run down, you feel tired, you're just going to do worse. Just worse in every way. You won't be able to concentrate as well. You'll make dumb mistakes that you would never make normally. And you're paying money to travel to a place, to play an event, to try and go to Worlds, to travel to another place, to try and win a bunch more money. The least you could do for yourself to set yourself up for the best possible opportunity for success is to get yourself conditioned correctly.
And on a personal level, I think it's been a fairly difficult thing for me to wrangle, because I've been doing such randomly degenerate like habits and hobbies for so long. For most of my young adult life, I've been up late doing that shit, man. You know, like college, brother, I worked in a newspaper. That was never
up all the time.
That was never gonna be conducive. I was in college and worked in student media. That was never gonna be conducive to a good sleep schedule. Like, I camped out the free coffee machine in our student media office damn near more than anything else. After that, like, I had my first job was like full remote, and like you kind of set your own hours a little bit on that front. So I was just like Weissing all the time, on sim, on camera, on anywhere, drive somewhere, play more, bed, 3 a.m., whatever, man. And just more and more and more recently with, number one, a full-time job that I have to be a little bit more of a human being at. And number two, just like, I don't know, maybe I just ran it all the way down too much in general. Like, every single time that I fucker my sleep, I'm paying for it immediately. So the thing that kind of brought this to the forefront was today. It was like, I booked the cheapest possible flight that I could to go to Duluth, play the tournament, and or record the tournament, didn't know at the time, and come back. Which was a 6 a.m. flight back home. Problem with that. Duluth is 45 minutes away from Atlanta. If you don't know, now you know. Duluth is a 45-minute drive from Atlanta. You got to get an Uber in and out, effectively. Or you rent a car. Either way, you can't cope. That's how it is. It was good in the sense that because I landed at midnight and left at this time at 2 a.m., the Uber price was cheaper. It was like $50 both times instead of $90 is what I heard from some other people that had to take their Ubers in from the airport. But like, I wasn't gonna miss my 6 a.m. flight, so I was just hanging out with Weiss people and then up until 2 a.m. after the tournament, and then I Ubered into the airport, and then I napped for an hour or two, and then it was time to board, and then I napped on the plane, and then that was a 3-hour total of sleep for that whole period post-tournament.
Yeah, where you already feel not great, probably.
Yeah. And also after we lost the potential winning in to top 8, my phone data died.
Yeah.
Like, there was a Verizon outage.
Oh, okay.
For like half of its customers or whatever in the Atlanta area.
That's interesting. That's huge.
Yeah. There was like 2,000. Like, I checked Down Detector with like the convention center Wi-Fi. There's like 2,000 reports of like a Verizon outage. I'm like, huh, neat.
Yeah, not a great time for that to happen.
No, it was literally, it failed right when I wanted to check the pairings. Just to see.
Yuck.
Just because I was curious. Yeah, so I was like immensely tilted, like for a good amount of time. And then, you know, like the Cali Gamers won, we celebrated, and then we hang out. But like, that is like the longest, like busiest full day of effectively travel that I think I've ever just crammed in. Because normally I'll have like some of Sunday to relax before going to the airport, right? This time I was back in Dallas the day after the tournament at 9 a.m.
Well, and the reality is that like starting at like, let's say you got up at 8 a.m. before the tournament, that's a full 16 hours that you were awake and doing stuff. And that's just a whole lot. And then that was to 2 a.m. Then you have like more hours, then an entire other day.
Oh yeah, that wasn't happening. I slept from 9:30 to 4 p.m.
Yeah, and so yeah, now your sleep's backwards, and it's even worse now.
Yeah, I went to bed at, it's not even the most backwards it could have been. I went to bed at 2 a.m. and then woke up at like 10 effectively today.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, like I remember doing more degenerate things in college.
Yeah, well, the thing is about time is that it makes fools of us all.
That's
and
true.
You don't improve at this over time. As a person who goes to bed at 9:30, I will tell you, it gets worse with every passing year. You fall apart just a little more, you get weaker just a little more. And sure, I can stay up late if I need to get something done, but it sucks. And I try to never do it before competitive play. I don't stay up late. I don't practice late. I think of competitive tournaments the same way I think about tests. I don't try to cram. I'll play a couple of games, few games, just little warm-up games. Don't take it too seriously. And then you just got to stop, because you're going to have an entire day full of the game. You're not going to get better playing 5 or 6 more extra games the night before. That ain't going to happen. Like, You either did prepare or you didn't prepare. And if you didn't prepare, these games ain't it. So accept that you are where you are with the deck and with the game, and try your level best to relax as much as possible. Do not show up to the venue or show up to your hotel at midnight to get up early to go to the venue. That sucks. That sucks. Try to avoid that if you can. Obviously, money is a real factor that we are all going to have to contend with. So sometimes it's not avoidable. You're just going to go in suboptimally. But if you can, leave yourself some room to, feel right.
Yeah, I've been, I think I mentioned it earlier, at the beginning of the podcast. I've been short-circuiting all day. I just,
Yeah.
It just feels worse every time the sleep gets worse. And the more it happens, I'm just man, maybe I just need to align my sleep schedule with Steve's.
It's boring but effective.
It's boring but effective. Yeah, and it's hard to do for me personally because I have a lot of friends that are up late.
you have friends at every time zone, man.
Yeah. There are a lot of people that are up late that doing anything and everything, including more Weiss Schwarz, League of Legends, whatever, hanging out.
Yeah.
And it sucks to kind of decide that man, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
But at some point, I would like to have a consistent energy pool instead of roller coastering
whatever happens.
every goddamn which way. In between this and Vietnam 3 weeks before, my sleep, God bless, for the last month is the worst thing ever, dude.
Well,
my gosh.
You got a few weeks to practice some good habits, and then
before Philadelphia, yeah, no kidding.
We're headed right back into it.
Yeah, yeah, not even Philadelphia, just Rosemont too in general.
Yes.
So yeah,
it never ends.
Try to have good, consistent habits. God bless.
Yeah,
healthy body, healthy mind. Hopefully, winning tournament conditions.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Whenever somebody says that they are not feeling well during a tournament, I always presume that they are lying. Because if we are all we're all undefeated, then I don't believe you. I'm sorry. I do not believe my opponents when they say they are tired, hungover, hungry, whatever, headache. I don't believe you.
All right. Well, hold on. Last year at Duluth, I think we can still recall that last year at Duluth, I went in masked up, fully just sick, and still cracked the top 8 anyway.
Yeah.
So, I understand, those things can happen.
They can.
But,
probably not going to get the Michael Jordan sick game every single time you go to the event.
Yeah, exactly. Better to rig the odds in your favor instead of against your favor.
People often complain about luck in games. Often. It is the most consistent whine that people do about card games.
Yep.
Is that they are not lucky and their opponents are. Well, you can tilt the board towards the luck or away from the luck. Those are choices you can make. And when you make the choice to lean towards the luck and it doesn't work out, you have to examine your choices that led to that point. Sometimes things don't work out, and yeah, luck could be a factor in those things. But to say that you had no agency whatsoever denies the skill of the people who are working hard, preparing hard, treating themselves correctly, making the good plays, and consistently winning. So, set yourself up for the best possible scenario. Practice. Eat right. Sleep more. Stop beating the shit out of yourself. And you'll do better. It's weird.
True. Real and true. And that's going to be it. I need a team for BSF Philadelphia because I'm going to be there, and I confirmed I'm not going to be able to stream, record anything, which is fine. But I got the flight and booked and everything, so I'm going to be there. And I am in the mood to practice and try to win So if you would like to win BSF Philadelphia, hit me up. I need 2 other like-minded individuals to join up and let's go win a tournament. That would be really cool. If that doesn't happen, it is what it is.
I'm going to throw this out there.
Next target is Rosemont.
You created a very strange editing difficulty for yourself
I'm aware.
by including that statement in this podcast.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I love to see it.
Yeah, I'm looking for a team. And it is next weekend at the time of recording. So I'm going to muster up everything I can to get this episode out in like the next quote unquote few days or whatnot. Be really cool if I could crash that out tomorrow. And if I do, then send out if I get this out on September 2nd. If you're listening to this and it is September 2nd, or you see that the upload date is September 2nd, send out a comment saying, good job, Ben, in the comments. And we'll know that you're a real one that listened to the end of the episode. All right. That's all for today. What is it? Man, I'm so short-circuited. I need to pull up the script for once. That is our show for today. So tune in next time after your next deck out. And don't you forget, take the refresh point.